Leon Edwards is not impressed with the UFC's recent fight booking. On Tuesday, it was revealed the grudge match between Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington is set to headline UFC 272 on March 5th. It's a massive fight between two longtime rivals, but for Edwards, who was scheduled to fight Jorge at UFC 269, he isn't too impressed with the scrap. "Two bums coming off losses," Edwards tweeted in response to Masvidal-Covington being made. Edwards has been a rival of Masvidal ever since their three-piece and a soda incident back in March of 2019. He has been trying to fight him for some time now, but to no avail. Now that this fight is booked, it does leave the Brit to likely be the next title contender for Kamaru Usman whenever the welterweight champ decides to return. Should he get the next title shot, Edwards believes he has the skill to defeat Usman. "I feel the UFC sees it," Edwards said to ESPN back in November. "They now believe I am well-deserving. There is no one else for Usman to fight. I'm the guy saying yes all the time. I'm the guy fighting. I feel the promotion, and I am on the same page, let's say that. Usman definitely fell in love with his hands. He definitely believes in them. He's calling out boxing world champion Canelo Alvarez. He truly believes that he's some sick striker. Fair play to him, but I know when we fight, he'll be shooting for his takedowns. I don't think it will be a striking match. I think it will be more wrestler versus striker. I'm looking forward to it." Leon Edwards is coming off a 5-round decision win over Nate Diaz. Prior to that, he had a no contest against Belal Muhammad due to an accidental eye poke. He's on a 10-fight unbeaten streak and holds notable wins over Rafael dos Anjos, Donald Cerrone, and Vicente Luque. His last loss came back in 2015 to Usman. UFC flyweight JP Buys has decided to clear the air. Buys is currently married to UFC strawweight Cheyanne Vlismas, although they are currently in the process of getting a divorce. Vlismas spoke with MMA Fighting this past week following her unanimous decision win at UFC Vegas 44 and revealed that she left the US for an undisclosed location in order to escape from some things going on in her personal life. While Vlismas never mentioned her husband's name in any derogatory way, the announcement of the impending divorce led to some negative feedback from fans. Buys had the following to say regarding the incident. "It's been a little bit frustrating from my side trying to, number 1, keep quiet and focus on myself, number 2, trying to heal through this whole process, and number 3, trying to figure out my life and my situation and things that are going on in my personal life. Every day, my phone gets blown up by people because of things she says publicly or posts on social media. My world has just been exploding every day, commenting on my stuff, sending me messages. What did you do to your wife? Why is she running from you? It's a little bit frustrating. That literally got attention drawn to me as if she's running away from me, like physically or something." After coming up short in his first bid on Dana White's Contender Series in 2017, Buys returned to the show 3 years later and earned a contract with a first-round submission win. Since then, Buys has competed twice inside the octagon. He was finished by Bruno Silva this past March, then dropped a unanimous decision up at bantamweight to Montel Jackson on short notice at September's UFC Vegas 37 event. Henry Cejudo was hoping to earn C4 status by challenging reigning UFC featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski. Cejudo has been calling for a fight with Volkanovski for some time, so when Max Holloway was forced to withdraw from his scheduled trilogy at UFC 272, Triple C immediately offered up his services to Dana White & Company. Despite his efforts, Henry Cejudo was ultimately passed up in favor of the Korean Zombie. That title fight will now headline UFC 273, with Peter Yan vs. Aljamain Sterling also billed for the card. Volkanovski's decision to fight Zombie was not well received by Cejudo, who shared the following reaction on Twitter. "Hey Alex, it figures you would go for the Zombie, and not the guy that would turn you into the Walking Dead. Henry Cejudo last competed back at UFC 249 in May of 2020, where he successfully defended his bantamweight strap with a TKO victory over Dominic Cruz. Immediately following the conclusion of that contest, Triple C announced his retirement from the sport. With the opportunity to become C4 out of the picture, at least for now, it will be interesting to see if Cejudo attempts to pursue any other fights. The former two-division champion recently received a call-out from the aforementioned Dominic Cruz for a rematch. However, Triple C showed no interest in wanting to run things back. Peter Yan has his theory on why the UFC opted to move his scheduled rematch with Aljamain Sterling from UFC 272 to the UFC 273 co-main. Yan lost his bantamweight title to Sterling at UFC 259 after landing an illegal knee to a grounded Sterling late in the fight. Sterling would earn the title via disqualification, and the saga began regarding rematch talks. Sterling and Yan were originally scheduled to square off at UFC 267, but Sterling pulled out due to lingering health issues. Yan would go on to fight and defeat Corey Sandhagen for the interim belt at UFC 267. After they were originally scheduled once again to battle at UFC 272, the fight has now been pushed back to UFC 273. The two went at it on Twitter regarding the situation, with Yan citing Sterling as the reasoning. Pathetic liar, desperately trying to look good and control the narrative, but it won't work. I'm vaccinated and ready to bash you anywhere, even tomorrow. The UFC simply doesn't want fake champion to headline the event. The UFC and President Dana White haven't come out publicly and explained the fight getting pushed back. For now, it appears that the Sterling-Yan rematch is set to happen at UFC 273, and fans will need to keep their fingers crossed regarding any potential shakeups between now and then.